Well, we'll do it this way. I had forgotten that this was a thing, and I was like, oh, I'll just make sure everything's properly configured. And oh, right, this is a single contrast laptop. Like, oh my gosh, I remember when this game first came out, I had two knobs on my monitor, and I could turn them. But now I have my contrast. I have no contrast, and then you turn up my brightness. But even at max brightness, the symbol in the orange square does not become visible. But so instead, we're looking over at the images, and they look good enough. Ba ba ba. I'm going to be adjusting my volume levels based on these. Wow, that's loud apparently. That was really loud. I hope there's somebody watching who can validate whether or not that is too loud. That's okay. Sake is streaming and probably streaming the more interesting game. It's fine. I think it's probably fine. There's the background reference sound. This is the one I'm really actually concerned. Is this loud enough? So if there's anyone in chat who can give me an opinion. I'm not convinced any of the people watching are like real people. It's fine. We'll make it work. Okay. It's been a while since I've played this game. Officially, technically, I'm still at work, but like, it's snowing, and I have a snow phobia, so. Ugh. It seems to be settling down. I still can't look out the window without a panic attack, so that's not.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know. But I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book, back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture Gan. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get get you back to the place that you came from.
It always strikes me how many video games from like the 80s through the 90s are just like they're isekai, and it's like there's not really a need, but yeah. I love that the Mist series is explicitly an isekai series. It's great. Here comes the dude who's gonna steal our book. Bokuvane. Bokuvane. Cho. Cho.
Misirapo. Mutika boku wa nai. Misirapo. Mutika boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Misirapo. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai.
Oh no. Been needled. Still kind of bothers me that everyone puts this game in with Myst by default because it shares a control system and, you know, it is in the same series of games. But it doesn't really have the same core puzzle as the rest of the Myst games. Like, most of the rest of the Myst games, you have kind of a world hub, and then from that world hub you solve puzzles to unlock other worlds, and to those worlds solve their puzzles, come back, and kind of basically collect keys that unlock the core world. And Riven isn't like that. Riven's puzzle is, well, the only other game I've played that has Abduction is the same as the main Riven games, where you're unlocking other worlds. It's just, you start in one of them. So it's kind of like halfway between. But Riven really has this more of an Outer Wilds vibe. Like, I know people who might disagree with that, but like, at the core, Outer Wilds is a game that's about exploration and learning to understand the world that you've got. And then with that, you understand your mystery, and with that, you understand kind of what you need to do, and you have a story that evolves. And Riven's a lot like that. Like, we start with, we come in, we were talking, we're like, we can't send you there with the way out, we give you a prison book. We get locked, this guy takes our prison book, and then the masked person takes and shoves us in here. We have this book, a journal, which you can read through. It tells us this kind of backstory with Atris, but basically it gives us the info we need to know Atris, our buddy's wife, is imprisoned by his dad Yen, who they thought they trapped here. This is Catherine's home world. And this world is slowly dying because of Yen's experiments. And Atris has to write to keep it preserved. And he can't send us with a linking book, because if he does, Gen is unleashed, and Gen has destroyed countless worlds in his arrogance. Hi, guy. Dead guy. So like the difference between this and Outer Wilds is we leave with a mission, right? In Outer Wilds, there's no mission but explore. And then the mystery of the Nomai. Here, we have the mission rescue Catherine. And the submission get our prison book back. But at the core, once you get past that, it's the same thing. Explore. So it's like, what do we do here? Where do we go? Well, there's only one way we can go. But once we get here, where do we go? Well, we can cross the bridge. We can go down the other side. We can come in here. Go down the other side. We see more islands. We see more ocean. We have a bunch of questions. Where are we? What's going on? There's a gate. It's locked. Is there a key? What's going on? What's this thing? Oh, we can crawl under. Like, gosh, that took me forever as a kid to figure out. But like, yeah, the idea of, hi, you can fit under there. You can explore. You can see more. Hey, it's that same room from a different angle. I don't know. Like, the puzzles are very... There's only really the two puzzles that are not subtle and built in. Like here, what's the puzzle? The puzzle is understanding the geometry of the room, right? We have our way out there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're back to the start. So, we have 2 doors. They're separated by 1 panel, and then they're separated by 2. So you have this, structure. You can look at these and learn things. You see a man writing and dreams come out. See the man being worshipped. I love these things. See the man casting down another man, a devil with books into the depths of the sea. What do these mean? We don't know, and that's important. See God and his priests making things. There's so much information in these. I know what they mean now, but like it's mystery, right? You don't know what these mean. And I guess that's one difference between this and Outer Wilds is in Outer Wilds you would get like a notebook that you get translated and you go, oh, I see. Here, you don't know what these mean. You have this text in a language you don't know how to read. And then you have this door that's closed with like a big gold thing outside it. What is it? Is it a temple? I mean, I know what it is. I've played this game. If you don't understand by me very familiar, look at the speedruns. I don't have a very good speedrun because I've never got the hang of Gallop. But like, I know the game. That just moves the thing. Eh, we can't see a door, which means the doors are on either side. Which means I come down here. I can go through. I'm following like the rock through. If you play this game yourself, and you should, if you don't know Riven and you're watching this, this is a game I would actually like. When I compare this to Outer Wilds, I mean I played Riven as a kid. And there was not a game since Riven that scratched the Riven itch until Outer Wilds. There's a remake of Riven coming out sometime. It's like, you know, that's probably worth looking into. What's this? I love this. These little details. Like, I know what this is. I know what it does. You don't know when you look at it. It's just like pipes. And you have to think and be like, what on earth would this pipe do? You need to pay attention to sounds. You need to pay attention to sights. I love it. I love the game. I'm just gonna play it calm. I'm gonna play it chill. If chat has questions, chat can like ask. This is not the fast way to do it. The fast way would be to leave and go around to the outside, because there you can skip the cutscenes, but because you can't just skip the sound effect only. You have to wait for it to turn if you do it this way. But it's okay. We're not trying to be fast. We're reveling in the game. That grinding noise, that loud, obnoxious grinding noise. We'll not interrupt the cutscene. We'll let you see. Because this is the same sound you hear like when we're turning that button. Like you can see what's happening now. And this is in your head when you push that button in the other place. It's in my head, at least. And yay, we can go see this great temple-ish thing. There's a switch that doesn't seem to do anything. Oh well. And that's really the thing, like, I have friends I keep trying to make play this game, and they'll be like, what does this do? And they'll panic. It's like, you have to kind of get with the oh well. Right? You have as much time as you want to deal with things like this. What does any of this mean? I know. If you've played Riven before, you know. But let's be real, if you haven't, this is one of the most obtuse motherfucking things you can imagine, right? And then you see this. And then maybe you get a sense. This is the way in. This is the catwalk. There's another way out over there. There's another way out over there. But then we pay close attention, we see it goes down here. And you can see up there, there's that catwalk. So you can see there is another way out over there. But we can't get to it here. It's above us. This is little spatial things. And I know that can be a little tough here. I am really excited for the remake because I have a list of friends who have bounced off of the game and I want to be like, play it. And here you have maybe a hint about those other symbols, right? Because there's a big bridge leading to a different island. We can see it here again. You can also see the pipe going up. You can see another island in a different distance, and we're starting to get like that sense of space, right? If you take your time. And up here, you can't look up here for some reason. But we can see the steam's blowing up, It has a bridge symbol, which is a different symbol. And the sound changes. Because the steam is now stuck inside of the pipe. I love it. There's an elevator, but we can't actually elevate. And another one of these, another bridge. And if you haven't figured out yet, we're using steam power. This is a power plant. Well, I spoiled it for you, but I don't know. Probably by this point you've been like, oh, this is a power plant and we've got steam power and we're directing it to places. Like there. We can flip a switch! Yay! It raises this bridge. What does this do for us? Actually, it hurts us because there's no other way for us to get out. So we just lock ourselves in. But there's no rush. We can put it down and make notes. If you have a little notebook that, hey, you can get on top of the gold dome with this bridge. Maybe if we can go that way around somehow. Because yeah, you can see the wheel right there that we can turn. So you know that there's a switch, that there's a way to go, right? You can see that. You can see that there's this extra layer under the bridge. It's not easy to see, but like it's all there if you're looking. You can see like from about here to here, the bridge double segments, and then there's a wheel. So you can imagine, turn the wheel, and this whole thing extends out. And then we'd have access to that. But we'd have to find another way around, because we can't get there. But we know there's another way around, right? Because if you come back down here, and you go on out and over, that bridge comes through and up. So there is another way around if we find that bridge and get on the other side of it. You know, some careful thoughtfulness. And it sounds way more obvious. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, look how smart I am. Because, like, that is stuff that took me ages when I was a kid to figure out. It's also not like a missed puzzle. You're not sitting there going, I wonder what combination to put things in. Pretty straight, you know, you have to understand what the thing is. You understand that this is a power plant. You understand where the power's going. And everything follows, right? Your decisions, you're just turning on the machine as it is and exists in the world. And there's lots of little places, like this room. I like this room. Music is spooky. I still don't like this music, but like this room, from a quote-unquote puzzle perspective, all you need is this switch, right? Opens that door over there. Ooh, yay. But there's so much in this room. I love it. Right? Because what do you have in this room? You have these two viewpoints of two different places. And when you are in this chair, you can see both of them. You can monitor these two cameras from here. And then what's this chair do? Well, there's a button. You push the button and it automatically does this lever. That's a great sign that this isn't like a big thing. We pull the lever. There's a noise. We don't know what the noise is. Like, in this room itself, you're not going to be able to figure out what this does. But you know, I keep noticing that this lever changes. It should be stuck in the other direction because you can't. Yeah, What's that? What's that do? Well, later. We'll see, and we'll have an extra little piece, and we'll go, oh, that's what it does. You can come on down here. Okay, the contrast is high enough, because you can see the door. Come down, and oh, this is the temple, right? This is much more temple than that big gold dome. What have you got? You've got these creatures, and you've got this 5-point star, you've got these bulls, and it's like, in Outer Wilds, this would be text, and you would get the text, and they'd say something like, oh, praise the grand wealth, gave my offerings to the grand wealth today, and yeah, but now we have this. You don't know that it's called a wealth, you don't know what it is, you just know there's this thing, and you know that there's offerings that have been left, and you know that there's this great big cage, and maybe you're drawing the connection between this cage here and the cage that's upstairs, because they're similar. And you see this design again. 5 is so important in this world for whatever reason. Why is it important? And then maybe you notice, as you're flipping around, this is one of those places that you were looking at. We don't see the camera, but this is one of the places that we were looking at, and we know from flipping that switch. We're going to go flip the switch back down. I think I did this the last time I rambled and was like, I love this game, but I don't want to show it again. Go away. Flip the switch down. Right, it's closed. The door is closed. So that's telling us that this is not like a recording or something. This is live. So if someone were sitting in here, they could see us in that room. Ooh, spooky. And then we come out here and we see this other thing. This also could be a thing. This is also a place people are watching. And I'm trying to see, because I'm pretty sure there's a point where you can see the camera. It's like, yeah, this is a place there. Camera should be up. Can't really see it. Okay. We have a button. We can push the button. Screen goes a little pixelated, so you know that there's the little movie. Yay! The gondola has arrived. I forgot the word gondola for a moment. Hi, gondola. Up the gondola. Looks like a little fish. I love it. From inside, can we see? No, we can't. Okay. It's fine. And then you have controls. And once again, simple controls. It's not even a puzzle. It's... What are we looking at? We're looking at a gondola. So you fiddle with the buttons, you can figure out what they're going to do. And then, you know, 2 guesses what the lever's going to do. Go! Love it. Is it as cool as flying a spaceship? No. But you're also not an alien with a spaceship in this game. You're just like, canonically, just a dude from the world who fell through a magic book. And you're now just like given another magic book that you've been stolen. That's been stolen from you already and been told, yo, rescue my wife. Hi, Cassie. Yeah. I love this game. And then we can get a good view here of like how it gets powered and everything. It's full of little details. Cassie, have you played Riven? Should I bully you into playing Riven sometime? Okay, I'll spoil the puzzle. Wow. I really think this is way more like it really needs to be treated more like Outer Wilds than like just an ordinary puzzle game. Ooh, look at these. I love these, they're so cute. Aren't they cute, Cassie? No, they're swimming away. I know, they're great. And hey, here's another shape. Looks like those things in the temple. And a little ball that makes a noise with a symbol. I love this. Right? Just like, you can understand. I just want to make sure this isn't like me being silly. That you can understand when you see this shape and this eye, that this is important, right? This follows. Is it puzzle important or world lore important? We don't know, but you can. It's like, doesn't it just like vibe you with curiosity? What the heck is going on? Why is there an eyeball here that makes a noise? What do the symbols mean? I love it. I know I can beat this game in like 15 minutes if I want to, but number one, rushing through those clicks is a pain in the ass. If I ever speedrun this again, I need to get a hang of galloping. But also, this is so comfy in wintertime. Don't you just want to be here, sit under this tree right here, and watch and smell the wind and hope that the walrus skulls come back and you can toss them some fish? Sounds just great. For real, yeah. Hey, we see a person. Our first sign of people. And it's a watch person waving a hand and setting off an alarm. And they're hiding in there. Gosh, as a kid, I spent so much time trying to figure out how to get into those. Which, I mean, you can't. Duh. That's not their point. And we have another one of these eyeballs. And at this point, this is where I would be writing down eyeball, symbol, buzz noise in my little notebook. Because this game came with a notebook. when you bought it physically. And once again, I encourage people to play this themselves and get a notebook and a pencil and keep notes, because this is a game that you need to piece things together with and learn. And it's just so much less frustrating if you go, I've seen that before, and flip through your notes. Then we can go down. I did not do this in the optimal order because there's nothing down here. But the fact that you can come down here says that you can. And you can see right up close, the water is all fucky. Water doesn't do that normally. Why does the water do that? You can look down, you can see this little symbol. Like there's something going on there. There's rails. Why is the water all fucky though? Oh, and if you paid attention, you can see house. There's all the little hints. You can't go to all of them. You can go to a lot of them. So like I can be thinking, I want to go to that house. How do I get to that house? I went up the stairs. You can see there's that gold dome again, and we can see how we got to this island. Different directions to go. This is one of the places where, this in particular is the place that Sahil got upset with the controls because she couldn't figure out how to go where she wanted to go or which ways she was allowed to go. And so this is something that I really hope gets like cleaned up in the remake. I really hope that this whole section like maybe becomes a little bit more cleaned out, a little bit more something you just walk through at will, with the kind of forested area there and the way forward here, which we'll go to first. Like a little cavern. There's no alarm. And there's a bridge overhead. How do we get to that bridge? I wonder. My favorite thing is right now there's not really much need to come here. Like if you're doing speedrun, you're just kind of pushing through rapidly, but like this is the second place you're at. You're gonna explore. You're gonna be like, what's going on here? We've got a dude, we got that 5 symbol again, we've got other people being held, and we've got that fish creature that they were worshipping in the temple again. Is he feeding the fish people to the fish people? What on earth? You can see the water. Like this feels almost like another little temple. Another important area. But this has a more ominous vibe, right? And this is telling us maybe that temple isn't like a good thing. And get down here, we have the water. Oh, and there's, you can see, I can't point to it because the mouse went away. There's a little kid playing on the pier. There's people, and the people upstairs are freaking out and panicking and hurrying down to grab the child. Why? Why are they so frightened? Are they frightened of us? What did we do? Well, we're the stranger. And it says something about this world, that the people are going to be frightened of a stranger. You see the water is fucky again around one of those little symbols. Here we can see the symbol a little bit more clearly. It's still not 100% clear why the water's all fucky. And you can see these little things are those houses. Over here you can see they've pulled back this little bit that leads into the village. Kind of, definitely these are houses, right? But here, they forgot to. So we can come here. Doorknob. Of course you do it 5 times, the symbol 5 is there. And the person in there just slams it done. You can get a sense, and they're not really big, right? Like, those doors are, you have to crouch to get in, the ceiling is there. Like, these are not houses people spend all their time in. Which makes sense. You come out here, you can see even more, right? You can see these fishing nets, you can see all these little other areas. And we get here. This is a place that somebody, like, works, right? You've got, not even work, like, that looks like an oven and someone's cooking something in it. It's kind of getting burned. You've got drums. I hope they let you play the drums in the remake. You have a sacrificial altar of some sort. Looks like, again, that kind of creature that we saw eating the people in the picture. And this is out of place for this village, right? Everything's wood and such, and here's this big metal ball full of levers that don't do anything. It's got wheels. Bye. And hey, there's another one of those places where the water's fucky. And the rails are, and those wheels line up with the rails. Yeah, a submarine train. I freaking love it. And you can also see these places, right? You can see there. There's one of those. You can see that one there. Like, you get the sense there's destinations to take the submarine train to. I love the game. Did you hear that? Did you hear the children? The child making noise and the parent shushing the child? What if that happens again if I go through? Nope. And I wonder if I've cut myself off from the other child. Yeah, this is the other way we can go into here. Ah, look here. Look. And if you were here earlier and you saw, I was like, remember, they're like, oh, they're scraping the trees for some reason. And we get in here and we see the trees are scraped. So whatever that painting, there's a gold scarab beetle and it makes a noise. Like, yeah, it's part of a puzzle. It's not like somebody built a puzzle. Because, like, when you see the puzzle, it's just a lock, and it's a combination lock, and they have little clues that they can know. Like, it's like they can run a pilgrimage to these spots, and they'll flip the symbol, and they'll know what it means. We just don't know what anything means. And you can see the scarabs again. Just the disrespect they carved their way through the tree here. We see another big knife, and we can see the way forward. And another one of these. That's a symbol we know! That's the walrus skull! That sound. That symbol. And now we can be pretty confident that all of these are connected somehow to a creature. And then we get back here. Box's walrus skull. Yes. Oh, you have no idea how much I want to like just force you to stream this game for us, Cassie. Because it's like I know this game like inside and out. It's like the way you just said that Box's walrus skull. Yes. Hey, it's the thing again. The big man-eating fish monster. Rawr. What is there to do here? I don't know. Actually, I do know, but I've decided I'm not going to use that symbol because use the little thing I know. No, I don't think I would. This is a game like it's like I'm making it look effortless, but it's important to remember this game took me 1.5 years to beat as a kid, and I would play it like every night because it was my parents gave me this game when I was expelled, right? It's like I couldn't go out like in the evenings after school. My parents were like, when everyone's home from school, you come home. You're not playing with your friends, you're expelled. So I just sat on my computer and played this. There's so much going on. Like, look, axe. Did they cut down this big tree with that axe? That seems like a pain in the ass. We come up here and we can see there's a bigger axe. I haven't played Space Quest, but Space Quest might be more explicitly puzzly. Like, I repeat it and I'm going to repeat it again and again. This game is not very explicitly puzzly. Like, even looking around, like, where's the puzzle? Where's the puzzle we've met so far? We had the rotating room puzzle, but that wasn't as much a puzzle as just imagining. It's like getting into a car, right? If you have a car and you have the keys to the car and the car's full of gas, and you need to drive down the road, and you don't know how to drive, how do you get through? Like, you go through, you figure, I can turn the key, that'll turn the engine on, this wheel will control the direction I'm going, pushing this lever with my foot makes me go faster, pushing this one makes me slow down. Like, you can start figuring out how the car works. Is that a puzzle? Yeah, but it's more of just like, how does things work? And here, it's how does everything work together? Like, some of it you're not going to need. Like, figuring out that they're tearing down all these trees to fuel experiments in making books and paper. They're not going to need that. Knowing that that gold dome is a power plant, we already saw. Figuring out that the gold dome was a power plant let us know that flipping these switches was directing steam power. And flipping switches to direct steam power is important. What's this? This is a cart. Like, okay, yeah, I've spoiled maybe. Hi, we're making pulp here. But like, yeah, just stepping back. We have trees, we're cutting the trees down, and we have some sort of cart. We can get in the cart, we can flip the switch. Hey, I wonder if they shoved the, like, cut down trees into this cart and flip a switch. Oh no, where are we going? Oh dear, these look hot. And the water's fucky again. We have heat and the water is fucky. Like, we know there's heat now, we know the water gets fucky, just like it did with the submarine stations. Why does the water get fucky? We still don't know, but maybe we can suspect it has to do with heat. Maybe the water doesn't like heat. Then we roll on into Stark Cave. And... hey, there's a place there. Cassie, before I move, I want you to tell me what you think we've just landed in. Looks like a quarry, I don't know. We just slid down into this thing. It has a lever, it doesn't work. And there's a pile of stuff underneath the exit to that thing. If you listen carefully, you can hear the steam. Set it back to this machine, because that gives it power. What's the machine do? Aren't we glad the wood chipper was off when we arrived? Aren't we glad we did not go through the wood chipper? But this gives us that extra clue, right, about what's going on the other island. They're definitely getting wood. They're shipping the wood through that little cart. It comes here, it gets wood chipped. Exactly, Parker Solemn Savier. It's just, when I was a kid and I first played this, like, I spent a good month as a dumb, like, 10-year-old, absolutely terrified, because I hadn't found the other way on and off of this island yet. But every time I came back to this island to try to figure out what was going on, I was terrified that I would arrive and I would see a guy, like the guy who took our book, just standing here, and I'd go down and they'd be like, bye! Ugh. Because I'd used a wood chipper before. I grew up in the countryside. I'd used a wood chipper. Like, ugh. I recognized this machine. I didn't even need to turn it on. I'm like, oh no, it's a wood chipper. And here we've changed gas. What do we have here? We have gas at the bottom of a big thing. I am looking forward to the Riven remake so much too. Like, I have so many friends that I think would love this game, but they're all like significantly younger than me, and the control scheme turns them off and they get so confused. And just being able to walk around will be enough, I think, to get those friendlies to try the game again. But yeah, like I said before, like, I don't feel like this fits with the other Myst games as well as it fits with, like, conceptually, like in terms of the type of puzzle, this fits more with something like Outer Wilds, I think, than with the other Myst games, because it's very much about exploring the world and figuring out what's going on in the world. And the different control scheme, the different setting, the different genre. Like we've gone from a space adventure to like an isekai fantasy thing. Yeah, like at the core, it's still about exploring the world and understanding it. It's just instead of reading diary entries of a long extinct species in space, we're looking at these little machines that are currently in use by people who are hiding from us and terrified and running away. And like, we have to learn how they are. Doing it that way, we don't see that the heat gets turned off, but it's fine. Yeah, no, that's not really a puzzle, is it? It's a few switches. What do they do? Like this one, I hope by this point, like, you figure it out. Ooh, you're gonna get a new coffee machine. Uh, I like how most people in this game are partly informed, right? Like, the people who are running away from us, they've been fed a myth with Gen as God, Atris as the devil, and we are clearly an agent of the devil on the way to ruin their universe and destroy the world, which we kind of do, right? And they don't really know what everything they're doing here is for, how it works. You know, that Gen doesn't really understand what's going on in the citizenry. We know that Atris kind of has a sense of where everything is, but Atris has to keep writing in the damn book so nothing collapses, and we just know save Catherine. I'm gonna ask Cassie again. What is this room that we've just opened up? Cassie, what do you think? This room that was full of boiling water might possibly be for. I'll give you a hint. Think of your your new coffee machine. Oh, I looked out the window. Snowphobias suck. It's a boiler. They can go in the configuration we have it in. They can fill it up with the wood chips. And then they can close it up. They can fill it with water. They can lower the floor. They can turn on the heat, and they can frickin' boil the fuck out of the wood pulp to purify it and blanch it in preparation for making paper. Yeah, if you want like clean white quality paper. Yeah, I don't think he quite fully comprehends how little grasp he actually has. He's a bit too delusional and narcissistic. I'm gonna go. There's no need to do this, but I want to, so I want to play with the froggy, so I'm gonna go switch that around. Oh my gosh, are you all ready for another embarrassing Baby Barb story? Like, This right here, these doors, it took me like 2 weeks of playing during my expulsion years to close them behind me. That's why I had to keep going back and forth on this island, and I was so stuck all the time, is I didn't realize I could close those doors. So I was just like, I am stuck. I don't know what's going on. But first, before anything, that's very important. It's vital. It's probably the most important action we can do in the entire game. And then over here, it also took me way too long with the spinning wheel here to close that door. Only took me like 2 days to figure out I could close that door. And it was later that I went that way, messed with that, but gosh. That's for you, Cassie. Reminder, I'm not that much smarter than people. That would make sense. Yeah, I lived in a house where my parents wanted all the doors shut all the time, and none of their kids like shut their doors ever. So they like spring loaded all the doors to close automatically. So it took me forever to close that. Oh, Cassie, you're not that. You're no. Like, I think the main reason I come across as clever is this is the sort of stuff that like I find peace in. Also, I love looking at this island from outside. It's so comfy. And also, look what we have over there that we can see from here. There's another gondola station. And there's the tracks that lead over there into the water. Like, that tells us, hey, we can get to a different way in and out of here. Maybe? And the answer is yes, but it's tough to find the other way in and out of there. Now we flip the switch. Yeah. Now's a place where we can learn so much. Like, we have the gun. We can unlock the doors. You can look at the block to cut the paper. My high school had air ducts like that. I did not crawl through the air ducts at my high school, but one of my friends did, and she got in so much trouble. It was great. And then the house that I first, like the house that we tried to buy when I was married, me and my ex, it had really big air ducts too, but they were like under the floors and not in the ceilings. Like they were heating ducts, and the idea was that they'd run through the floors and then they'd only have to heat like the bottom of the rooms, and the top of the room could be all cold. No one cared because you're not up at the top of the room. But my youngest son, like, to access these grates, there was like this grate in the front hall that you could just flip open and pull up, and then you could crawl down there. And they were big enough that you could go in and clean them and clear them out, right? I can't. I'm a giant woman. I'm very large, but no, in theory, like, someone could. And my youngest son, when he was like 3 or 4, I forget exactly how old, he figured out he could open those up and get in there. And he's like, aha, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to call out, and no one will know where I am. We immediately knew where he was, and none of us could figure out how to get him out. And then he comes through, and he comes out, and he's like, haha, I'm here. And then he's like, oh no, I can't get out. Because he's too short to crawl his way out of the duct. And like when he was doing that, I wasn't home for that. I was at work. It was my ex's mom and my kids, and I get home, and Rex is down there crying, and Han is sitting there going, Rex is gonna die, and Juan is rambling in a panic to Lee on the phone in Chinese, and I'm just like, Rex, stand up. Hoy, up you go. Now you know better. uh, this, uh, I love my kids. They're great. Ooh, what is this? A magnifying glass inspecting the structure of the tree with the 5 crack. And the books are quite nice. The paper's pretty good. Reminds me of this handmade Tibetan journal my sister-in-law gave me as a teenager. It's important context that I grew up in a family that did medical foster care, so that was quite early in my life, actually. And I've got a clamp to press and experiment with things. Got like ink stuffs. I love this because there's so many little details. And okay, you don't need to know any of these, but like, oh my gosh, this is for printing. Like you can rub the paper, massage the paper that way. And then you come over here and we get, this is more like over here. This, remember we've been like, oh, the water's all fucky. Maybe it has to do with heat. Here? Where's the button? There it is. We turn on the heat and the water goes all fucky and runs away from the heat. Like, this is how we learn outright that the water avoids the heat in a predictable manner. I love it. And then we turn it off. Yeah, magic water hates hotness. So you would never be able to go swimming in this world, Cassie. The water would just flee from you. I'm sorry. It says so much about Gen's character that he collects eggs. Got a distillation apparatus. Got one of those being repaired. Just, I love this, all these little details. And then over here, hey, there's one of these balls. Oh gosh, yeah. And there's text. I'm not going to read the text. I know what everything says already. Well, I suppose I should get the passcode. flip through Gen's journal that is written in English, which is not a language Gen natively speaks. I love it. It's like Gen and Atris default to Dani, and the Rivenese default to Rivenese. And Gen's like, I'm teaching some of the Rivenese Dani for my purposes. So I'm going to write my private journal in this foreign language English that none of them know. And so, therefore, no one will ever be able to read it or know what's going on. That is what? 1-8. It's been a while. I've forgotten some of these. 1-8, 16, 21, 24, I think is the code. That's what these symbols are, Cassie. They're numbers. We'll go play with them and learn them. Like we'll play with the thing later to learn our numbers. But yeah, no, it's a base 25 number system, and you get to learn it in the course of playing the game. And then we come down and we're at the other gondola station. Yay! There's no button because it's upstairs and I forgot to push it. In the speed run, you don't need to go in there at all because the next island over, its purpose is a couple of pieces of puzzle that you just kind of memorize for the speed run. But yeah. And then see, they put the button way up there so they don't have to record the video of it coming here. And we spin around. Whee! So we have the Gold Dome Island, the Jungle Island, the Crater Island. And now... whatever island is this one? Whee! Oh wait, I think the frog will be caught by now. Yeah, I think the frog would be caught by now. Let's go play with the frog. I want the frog. Like, the frog has got to have been caught by now, right? We've gone back to Gold Temple Island, we've come through, we've played around in Gen's lab. We've flown off to the Plateau Island, is that what we call it? That's what I call it. I don't remember what the official name is. Let's see if we can go play with the frog. In my opinion, the most important part of the game. Alright, we should probably also look at this thing. There's a little oven. And there's a book in there. And it's a linking book. Which is a bit of an oh shit moment. Because one of the important things that Atris is like, yo, can't send you into Riven with a way out. And you read Atris's journal and it's like, yeah, we're here to capture Gen. And Gen's like, fuck you. I'm making my way out. Frog, are you caught? Yes! Yes! Frog! Froggy! Bye, Froggy. There we go, we just win frog percent. That could be a speed run, actually. Frog percent. What's the fastest you can get here and catch a frog? Well, my favorite Outer Wilds speedrun is bonk percent, which is how fast can you fly, how fast can you get yourself into orbit and bonk your head on the satellite rotating around Timberhearth. I can't successfully do a bonk percent. I don't have precision for it, but I love the concept. I love the execution. I love that just time is when you go bonk. And I was talking earlier about how you can kind of see that this is in the background earlier. So like when you're wandering around earlier, you can kind of get the sense that there's another way in and it's going to be that bridge and hey, we just took it. Ooh, cool. I don't have much of anything because you only have to like refugee flee like twice and then you stop collecting things because it's like, well, it's all gonna go away eventually anyway. Yay. Everything's open. Which means if we are ever so inclined, we can go up there. So yeah, let's go to the other island because the other island is fun. And it teaches us how to solve. Actually, no. I don't have any plans. I'm just messing around to distract myself from the snow fear. So let's go. Let's in fact come through here, go around, and look at that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Uh, yeah, no. Okay, let's hit it 2 more times. I'm gonna skip through that because I don't want to sit there and watch it. Okay, now we can come up here and we can see at the top of the power plant is what the fuck is this? We've got marbles that we can put in places. I wonder what any of that could be. There's a switch there. I'm acting like I don't know everything about what this is for. then nothing happens. Yeah. What I love about this is it is like the this is the only like proper puzzle in the game, right? Like, other than this, what puzzles do you have? You have the rotating room puzzle. Yeah, I described the game as having two puzzles, but basically what you have the rotating room puzzle, which isn't really a puzzle as much as just learning the geometry. You have the boiler room puzzle, which we've seen, which is not really a puzzle, it's just figuring out how the thing works. And then you have this puzzle here, which is like an actual proper puzzle. And then you have a lock in another place, which we've seen the parts to already. That is not really that puzzly a puzzle, in my opinion. Exactly. The puzzle of Gen and the puzzle of the moiety. Yeah, we're thinking of the same two puzzles. But really at the game, there's one big puzzle. What the fuck is everything about? And from there, everything follows. Like it's the anthropological puzzle. Ooh, yay, doodles! If you doodle things that you're comfortable sending me, please send them. And if you doodle things that you're comfortable sending that fit my Discord's rules, you should totally post them in art on my Discord, because your doodles are fun. Yeah, it's the anthropological puzzle, which is why I like to compare this game to Outer Wilds, because that's there. Oh, actually, I was just coming up to recall things. What am I talking about? I'm talking about how you draw lovely art. And every artist I know, except for my son, who is 13, draws smut sometimes on their own spare time. And so if you're comfortable sharing your smut, yay, I love art, even if it's smut. But also, please don't post your smut to my Discord, because my 13-year-old kids and their friends are in there. Yeah, it's gone. Did you notice? We wrote it back and then we left and it's gone. Someone called the gondola, because we are not alone in this world. Oh, I see. You never draw anything sus. Well, you are just so pure. As opposed to me, who started writing a ship fic for some characters in Final Fantasy III with the intention of it becoming a smut fic, and then went, wait, what do you mean that these characters are 11 and 14? I am no longer comfortable with what I have started writing. I don't know. There's Gundams and mechas, and if you've ever spent any time in like the mech appreciation community, I'm pretty sure they want to fuck the robots. So it might be very conductive to a particular flavor of smut. Okay. Cassie, you need to show up to some of my Berseria streams where you have Sahil and I going full-fledged dirty mind on the game. It's great. Yay. Ah. I love this right here. This one did not take me very long as a kid because I went, oh, I could do this. Ooh, there's two exits here, and now we're here. We're on the other side. Oh, speaking of, I don't know, that just feels so good. And then this. Again, it took me no time at all to realize that, like, as a kid. Like, that was one of the fast ones. I just went, oh, I can do that! I do know other people had issues. And then this, as a kid, this was my favorite scene. I love the golden elevator rising up from the what looks like molten magma. Like, you go, ugh, this is creepy. And, Gen's definitely intending it to be. Got this vibe like a coffin. And you get in and it's like wood plated in gold. So I did in the 90s. But I must admit, I don't remember much of the 90s. Except for things I've been like, oh, this, I remember this when I see them as an adult. I know, right? This whole scene has that, like, vibe of descent into hell. And then when it opens, you're like, why is the magma not running in? And then you realize, oh, it's water. And they've got the heat. And the water's just scared of the heat, like usual. But... And then the fire below is... As an adult, the question that comes into my mind is, while they were constructing this out of metal in this chasm with fire below, how many freaking Rivenese people fell and burned in their deaths in the chasm? I do remember the books that we were supposed to read in class. I'm autistic, so I got put into special education for the first half of elementary school. And then my third grade teacher was like, actually, this kid's really smart. And then they put me in the gifted program. So I actually never took part in that except for one time in third grade and one time in first grade. And in first grade, they thought I couldn't read because I had trouble speaking. So I'm looking at the page, I'm like, I can read this. But they hadn't put me through speech pathology yet, so they thought I couldn't read because I couldn't make my mouth make the noises for the symbols. Oh, nifty. Oh, hi, guy. Oh, the guy is freaking out and running the fuck away. I love it. Let's catch him. Catch the guy. I love these little moments where they just run the fuck away and you're like, oh no. Like, everyone is so scared. It's like, I'm a fat woman in a polka dot dress with a red shawl. Why are you frightened of me? I wonder. Maybe they'll get one of them out, like, to coincide with Riven, but I don't know. Games and books are like, kind of, yeah. If I met an alien and couldn't communicate green, I would wear green the color of the trees and the grass. Because the trees and the grass are very obviously not, they're like so common. I would hope that the alien would recognize that the bright colors of the flowers represent like poison or venom or something, and that the green is just kind of the default chlorophyll color. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that the alien traveling to Earth can use their alien eyes and observe that the green is a common color on Earth that is not very, very threatening. And then I could just wear the green and be like, see, I am wearing greens and browns, so you know that I'm not dangerous. Versus I've got white and black and dark blood red on. Because it's my warm, comfy shawl, which just happens to be like a dark blood red. I got it at a clothing swap. Clothing swaps are the best. I love them. The alien's not probably gonna be dumb if it came all the way here. Yay! We've chased them to the other side. This is another one of my favorite parts of the game. Is this part. Because you come through, like, oh, I've definitely just lost the person. But this is a secret area. And you flick the little switch, and you ride an elevator up. And then you can see the scrapings on the wall and see that the elevator goes even higher. So there's like the 3 floors. And this is all closed. And you see that switch is up. And you're like, we're here, but the mouth is open and the switch is up. And you can push it and close it. And you're like, oh shit. And then you can push it again. And henceforth, on any run through that you want to, you can just push that button and come in here. Oh, hi kid! And there's that little kid again, running away from us. And here you can see, when you come this way, you can see the guy ringing the alarm. Because you're close enough. And then ducking down to hide. Like, you're not alone in this world because it's a dead world or something. You're alone in this world because people are frightened of you and hiding. And it's so queer. Such a queer experience. This kind of enforced social isolation. Here we are running around on the far side of everyone. In the back rooms, in the caves, in the temples. Oh yeah, it is great. I love it. But of course, if you're speedrunning, you never actually go to the other islands. You just rush through and open that up there to come up here. You can come this way. This is actually, I think, the first time in most runs that I've done or seen people do that they notice that this is a Dagira type thing. And you see... And then I can never get the timing, so I just spam it until we go. It turns off. We see a color symbol. Oh, spoiler, it's color. We don't know what the colors are. Yeah, gosh. Riven is like Outer Wilds. It's one of the games I want everyone to see. And once again, I know Cassie's already said that she's not going to, but anyone who's watching who hasn't played Riven, you should go play Riven and stream it for us. And if you haven't played Outer Wilds, you should get Outer Wilds and play it and stream it for us blind. They're both such good. I have played Abduction. Abduction is also good. But Abduction feels a lot more like a mainline Myst game than Riven does. Like, I don't think any game but Outer Wilds has successfully captured for me the emotions I get when I play Riven. At least until the end, when Outer Wilds gives you entirely new and different emotions. This. Have you seen the screenshots of this from the remake? How they've revamped Gen's throne here? Oh my gosh, it is kind of terrifying. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. It's just... Abduction is much more of a chain of puzzles, and a much less of a... like, the emotion of being alone and exploring. Yay! Now we can go have submarine fun times. I should, if I can, pin the code in chat. There we go. Unpin at the end of the stream, thank you. Maybe I should play Abduction again sometime. Oh, no need. I figured it would get buried. I just forgot to pin it earlier. But yeah, we've gone through, we've seen, aha, these Daguerre type machines. You can push the button at the right point and they open and there's a book inside. And there's this. So obviously what we want to do is enter the code right. 1 8 16 21 24. Woohoo! We can come in here. Yay! Gosh, I don't think I've actually come into this without the fire marble puzzle solved in ages. I forgot what exactly it's like in here without the fire marble. Okay, it's exactly the same as it is with the fire marble, but the books don't work. Okay. But oh no, what do you, fire marble books work? I mean, oh no, why are the books not working? Why could they possibly not be working? I mean, why is this book? No, I mean, we've seen more than one spinning dome. Like, I hope it's not that big of a leap to go. There's a book in each of the domes. Although I do want to say, at this point, as a kid, because I played Myst 1, I was expecting use autopilot. The autopilot works very well if the sun's not in the way. Um, the time constraints pissed me off for a long time, but that's part of the puzzle, and it's actually I don't know, I think it works well. But yeah, when I was a kid and I got to this point and I was like, oh, there's 4 of these domes, 4 of these books. I need to figure out how to turn the books on, and then I was expecting each of those books to have an entirely new world inside of it, like Myst 1. Because, most of the Myst games are explore the hub world, unlock the books, and then enter the books and solve the puzzle in the world inside to get some sort of key item that you bring back to the hub world to unlock the final area, right? That's like the structure of the Myst games. And I was expecting that same sort of thing. And then the game, subverts those expectations. What am I doing? Why am I going this way? The submarine's already down, so it's the other way around. Yeah, you can see I'm bad at galloping. That's why. That's why my time is very middling on the speedrun forum. But yay, submarine time. But yeah. But they also run away if you're not careful with them. What have we got? We've got a lever here. Don't know what that does. Got a lever here. Turns us around. And a lever here. Which is go. And then if you saw carefully, you have 2 ways in front of us, and if you were paying attention, there's 2 ways behind us. But I'm going to go this way first, because I know where I need to go first. I need to turn on the docks. And I know I should maybe go somewhere else, and then you can see that you can't go up. But I know. I forget which ones are the only ones. I don't. I don't forget which ones are the only ones you need. The only one you need is the work tower. So, I don't remember. I know that the game has enough information in it for you to translate all the Denis in the game. but like you have to be a linguist to pull that off. Like it's a lot. Yeah, we flip the switch to open up these so that we can go to these places. See, I want to speedrun this again, but I don't want to just casually speedrun this again. Like I did the first time. And if I'm going to speedrun this again, I need to get good at galloping. And I don't want to take the time to get good at galloping. Let's go to the school. I love the school. The school. Look, you can, they've got the alphabet. They've got the writing from the lesson.
Terekoi Danni, Kibayem Revat, Alroyem Betik Tavom, Gabodona Gayem.
Again. First time we see Yen. Endotrope. I'm bad at what things are called. Oh, so Cassie. Look, it's the symbol. Seven. Two. Three. Sahil got so mad at this. Ah, I did not. I don't really pay much attention to the fan stuff, because, like, not really my vibe. $15. No, 6. 5 and 1. How am I getting 5 and 1 is 15? Oh? What more interesting thing? Okay. You can game over in a couple of spots. In fact, come on. Okay. Save the game. I'm going to save the game and we'll game over. I apparently had that. Oh, we can't bad end yet. Okay. We'll be able to bad end shortly. Let's save again when we get in there. And we're going to see if I can remember the passcode. This is one of the places that I'm slow because I'm just slow. Okay, so 1 is fish. Then 2 is bug. Not you. 3, I think, is frog. 4 is our walrus skull. And 5 is our work. We don't have all the information we need to solve that puzzle. I just was like, do I remember it? I don't think you can drink the magic water. I don't think the game gives you the option. There's very few ways you can game over in the game. And most of them are... this is a silly, stupid thing to do at this point that I would know better than to do. Except for one. There's one part where it's like very reasonable, I think, to do the thing that game overs you. Look, we have a book, and we have a book that works. So we can go to another world for the first time in the game. What massive explorations, what massive puzzles await? There's a big hive in a crater. There's water. You can't do anything. How lame. I still haven't played Dark Souls. It's on the list of games that I'm supposed to watch. Yeah, we just got freaking tranked. I remember when I was a kid, there was all sorts of like rumors about things you could do to break free and wander around inside the hive, and none of them are true. Yeah. Yeah, video game rumors of the 90s, most of which were just pranks people made up to waste your time. Yay, I can log off of work. Let's log off of work. Stop being at work. There's nothing to do at work. I'm technically on call in case of a emergency because normally, and I snow fear on a day like today, I would just be off of work, but the rest of the team is out due to illness or family emergency, so I kind of have to be here. It doesn't change the fact that there's snow outside and I'm panicking. Yeah, it's such a dumb idea, but like, it is. No, it's important to remember. I was like 10 when I played this. Ooh, yay, days off. I haven't properly had days off in ages because I've spent all my PTO on like, I have to move, I have to haul things, I have to go to the doctor. So I haven't had like proper time to relax when I'm not like panicking over a snow fear. But yay, we're in prison. Woo, bad end. No, not really. Can't click out. We can look, we can see. They've got houses inside. They're all much nicer, right? These houses are much nicer than the ones in the village. Even the jail cell feels like it's probably bigger and more spacious than the village.
Katrina now the saya palo. Yapa ay manay yelepo. Miotisay. Bekaretere wirape yelo kenefalapo. Tisay. Why te fulupe?
There's a video on YouTube where they showed part of the interior of the big gold dome, but like untextured. At a convention. Yay! Books! We have another book we can read. Catherine's journal. With notes and information. Lots of reading that I've already done. That explains and answers questions. And that also tells us how to work the ice cream cone. And gives us the ice cream cone code, which we don't need to worry about yet. So we won't. And now we can start doing bad ends. Cassie, are you ready to see a bad end? We go inside the prison book, and they're like, oh, you're in the prison book. And this guy's like, ooh, I'll touch it. And the other guy's like, don't touch it, it's a prison book. And now you're trapped forever in the prison universe. Oh my gosh. Can't skip the cutscene. Yeah. Are you fetishizing slowly starving to death in the cold void between universes? Trapped alone forever? Because I'm pretty sure you don't actually starve or anything. You're just kind of like there. Forever. Alone. Seeing nothing. Smelling nothing. Tasting nothing. Hearing nothing. Feeling nothing. I've done sensory deprivation chambers. They are not fun in a fun way to me, but I have been told that I'm very weird. Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm always a little nervous about remakes because I tend to prefer, like, new things over remakes of old things, and honestly, I have a hard time thinking of any remakes that I actually enjoyed. Final Fantasy III 3D remake and the Game Boy Advance remakes of Senkai Deketsu, of the Final Fantasy Legends series. Senkai Deketsu, something like that. I forget what exactly they're called. But in those cases, I didn't like the original games. Oh yeah, like, this is the 90s, Cassie. This is when like games were made by a bunch of friends hanging out in a garage. Like they were well-off families to have the money to do that, but like, yeah. Okay. That's not bad end there. Go back out. And then we can leave. And we can give you another bad end. Well, that's a problem that will just have to go away. Anyway, we're not here to worry about that sort of thing. We're here to have another bad end. Hey, this guy is opening the book. Oh, and he's in the prison book now.
Forgive me. I don't believe we've met. I am Gan. You must be the one whom Atreus sent to trap me. I don't know where you got the brilliant idea to trap yourself in the book, but I must tell you that I am quite disappointed that it is you and not Atreus who must now pay the price for this foolishness. My one wish before I die would be to see him finally assume some responsibility for his actions. Perhaps it will happen one day. In the meantime, you have my sympathies.
Yeah, most of the time when I look at game and game remakes, I only want the remake if the original has playability problems. Can I skip the credits this time? Yes, I can. I can click that button, and then I can come over here. Oh no! You can see my Steam and my not real name. I've had somebody before be like, "You've revealed your real name," and I'm like, "No, I haven't. That's not my real name." Well, you know what I have to say about that? People will eventually learn well enough. Anyway, we have our books. The mobile game industry, where freaking Genshin Impact makes $1 billion freaking dollars, and Tales of Luminaria goes belly up because it is like actually a good game and not shovelware with a predatory, parasitical, exploitative Skinner loop built on top. Grrr. Don't mobile games at me, you're gonna just get me complaining about Luminaria. It's time to go learn about colors and such. It will get better. Like, that's a thing I don't think people realize, is it will get better. Like, it's... Yeah, there's something going on, but, like, consider, for example, Marvel. And how everything for a while is a Marvel clone. Like a Marvel movie clone. And now that's starting to get away as people are burnt out on it. It's like, yeah, there's an aging out and there's a replacement with children, etc., etc., but, like, it seems like every generation is a little bit more, is like burning out on the cycle of garbage shovelware a little bit faster than the generation before. Like my grandparents' generation and my parents' generation, they weren't like so inundated with the garbage shovelware yet. So it took them until like now they're starting to burn out in their 60s or older. My older siblings' generation are kind of burning out about now. Our generation is. My FP's generation burned out like maybe 5 years ago. My kids' generation, like, not everyone's burnt out yet because they're like 13, but a lot of them are burning out of this at this younger age. So, like, I know that there's this kind of, oh, marketing will have an effect thing, but, like, there's no point in being doomer about it. The signs indicate that this is going to get better. Not quickly, not without work and educating the next generation, but it will get better. You have to just take some time. Like, there's no point in being doomer about shit. It's like climate change. Is climate change a problem? Yeah. Is it hard to fix? Yeah. Is it impossible? Fuck no. Don't doomer at me about shit. We've already seen many nations across the world making progress. We've seen this country making progress. Like, yeah. But it's just what it is. Like, there's no point in being all frickin' doomer about it. If we're gonna be boomer about it, I'm gonna end the fucking stream, because I'm here to try not to be in a panic attack about fucking snow. Like, don't be doomer about fucking the ozone layer we fixed. We fixed Y2K. We had, prior to COVID-19, there were like 5 potential plagues that could have been as bad or worse that got caught and repaired in advance. Like, it's like every time, like, this capitalism is a problem, and I know that people don't like to hear people go, oh, but capitalism is the problem. But, like, if you step back and you don't define capitalism as we have stuff and make money, which is the way some people like to define it, and instead focus it in on these ideas of infinite extraction of wealth, the separation of people from what they create, and the splitting of society into a minority of people who don't do jack shit and own things versus a bulk of people who work their asses off and don't actually get to see the profits that they make. Like, that is a system that is grinding people to the dust, but it's also a system that can be repaired in so many ways. And each of those ways has new problems, because there's no such thing as a happy, perfect utopia. But you can fix those things. Climate change, we can fix it. Again, going back, ozone layer. Not actually fully fixed, but we actually putting international cooperation behind CFCs prior to frickin' the Bush years. Like, we gutted CFCs. CFCs aren't in anything anymore. And it's from the top to the bottom that worked. Freaking the quote-unquote third world is already leading the way on some of these ideas. And then, like, car use, that's like the big driver, right? The big drivers of pollution and climate change now are industry, power, automobile, and well, fast fashion isn't as much climate change as it is just general pollution, but like that sort of thing. And all of these you can address as long as you just start flipping the finger to people who lie outright and use your damned brain, and don't expect things to be free and instantly resolved, right? You can replace coal and power with nuclear and wind and solar. None of them are cheap, none of them are free, it's not a painless process. Someone's got to pay for it, and that someone's going to be some rich person who's going to rather spend money on propagandists. But you can just do that. Like, it's a thing that can be done. It has been done across the world. Then you've got, like, the transit. You could already improve transit. Just, I mean, look at Baltimore even. Like, this isn't even the problem. Let's turn left from the right-hand lane and think about gun violence, right? Like, in Baltimore here, they've always been like, gun violence is the unsolvable thing. It's the nightmare hellscape. Like, even in The Expanse, you read The Expanse, where's all the bad shit happen? It happens in Baltimore. But, like, through a combination of social services and enforcement, yeah, okay, enforcement has to happen. Gets way more of the share of the credit than it should, but between social services, improved economies, actually fixing up the row homes, so instead of half of the city being a crumbling nightmare of collapsed buildings, like, there's places people can live. Like, doing all of this has had measurable impacts. And, like, if you watch Fox News, you're not going to hear about it. If the Sinclair News guy who just bought the Baltimore Sun has his way, people will think it's a nightmare even worse than ever before. Like, dude got caught on tape saying that people who graduate from Baltimore public schools will forever be welfare queens because of an inner city lifestyle. Like, what the heck is he on about? But, like, this year, Baltimore has fewer gun homicides than Washington, D.C. Like, it's just like, all of these are solvable problems. There's no magical, like, wand you can wave that makes things go away. It's all interconnected. It requires reinvestment in your community. It requires hard work. Like, it requires understanding how a system works and being willing to go, this is not something I want, but it's part of the system that works. Like, everyone wants their big fancy automobile, but if you take a step back, especially in a big city, a car trip from point A to point B is a policy failure. Because that's a really ineffective way to move people. And where people have to move a lot of, you want more effective, lower cost things. Yeah. And that's part of, like, everyone says propaganda like a bad thing, but propaganda is important because a lot of the opposition is people who stand to benefit being convinced that they stand to lose. Like, the big example in the US would be public health care. If you're a small business owner or a working class stiff, public health care will save you money. Your taxes will probably go up, but the amount that they'll go up is going to be less than what you pay on health insurance. Who gets hurt? Health insurance schmucks. Sucks to be you. I have friends in that industry, and I'm just like, yeah, no, your industry would be hurt. But, like, there's no such thing as a solution without a loser, and as a point where you have to go, yeah, it's fine if I lose. Like, if we fix American healthcare, I probably lose my job, because my job is very much a sort of parasitic job driven by the fact that healthcare in the US is so profit driven. And we're kind of like the data broker that enables the business side of healthcare to make its decisions. Like, but also, if I lose my job, I should hope that there's going to be another, like, job. Because, like, I'm a database gal. That's what I do. I do databases. I do database architecture, I do database integrations. Like, yeah. I lose my job. But there's going to be a lot of databases out there. Someone's going to need a database. I can work on a database. Or if not, oh no, I guess I can go apply for a teaching certificate. My favorite person keeps bugging me to consider going in and doing education. Like, if you're a health insurance salesperson, yeah, you might lose your job. But sales is always going to be something that someone needs. Like, there's always going to be someone who needs convincing to do the thing. If you're a health insurance accountant, like, there's going to be payables and receivables. Like, really, I think the only people who stand to lose in more than a very short-term sense from these sorts of changes would be the people who don't work at all, who actually don't work at all, because they'll actually have to go get jobs instead of sitting around having other people work for them. Oh no. Spin me, chair. Let's learn our colors. Are we ready to learn our colors? Because I don't actually remember these. Also, what happened? I mean, I stood there in an alleyway and ranted for, like, ages. Oh, no, we died. That was a bad end. The capture in the cage with an evil dude was a bad end. He shot us, and then he monologued at us as we bled to death. Yeah. That's like 2 of the 3 bad ends that we've seen. The other bad ends are a little more work to get, and I don't kind of wanna. So, let's see. Yeah, let's learn our colors. Woohoo! We have this open eye with a single dot. Hey, it's blue! Oh, that goes all the way. I thought that was just going to turn us one. Let's go here. I want this one, actually. Wide open eye. Green. Horizontal dot eye. Yellow. Closed eye. Orange. A horizontal slit eye. This is how we learned that the work sound is number 5. So remember, ball number 5 was on a shape. And made a noise. We just heard that noise. Look, it's a work! We've seen these creatures getting worshipped. The red attracts it, like a bull. Turn it on again. There it goes, swimming by. It's here again. And there's a different animation, you notice. I love the work. It's so cute. Sounds mad at us. I was vegetarian and not eating fish until I moved to Baltimore, and now I'm like, I could spend a bunch of money on expensive beans, or I could get crab. Well, not now, it's winter, but like when it's not winter, crab is relatively cheap. Hey, we have a light that's broken. We don't know what that is. And then we're back to blue. I don't like eggs. So yay, we know our colors. I've forgotten them all already. I'm not keeping notes. And here, what have we got? We've got a security camera. Ooh. And hey, you can see the fishy symbol. It's like, this is how you get the rest of that. I forget if we see Catherine in this. We wait. Yeah. Yeah, puzzles are best when they're not obviously puzzles. Yes, we can see Catherine! God, I want her dress so much. I forgot how nice it is. It's cute. It's simple, too. I could probably make that. Embroidering the pattern would be the tough part. I already have an embroidery project. I should not start another one. But yay. We know our colors. Yeah, sewing's one of those things that's real conceptually easy, and then like going through and doing the hard work is a little bit. Oh my god, I cannot crochet or knit. I don't have the dexterity. I say as I embroider and have no problem embroidering. I have never been to Mysterium. So the problem is, like, this is the game I like. I like Riven. I don't actually much care for the other Myst games, and like Abduction, I played once and I'm like, oh, I should play it again. But every time I've gone to play it again, I go, oh yeah, I've done this before. Ho hum. It's part of why I say that this, like, conceptualizing this as a Myst game doesn't quite fit right for me, even though it's the same series, because the thought and the puzzle in this game is so different from everything else. Like, it's the same world, it's the same characters, the same control scheme, and there are, like you've observed, aspects of Cyan game design that come through. But in this game in particular, they caught this sort of sense of exploration, which is what I enjoy. That games tend to do poorly at. Cough, cough, Skyrim. Gods, I hate open world games. They're like, you can explore, but exploring, there's nothing to find. Except the same boring, pre-generated garbage. I love this. I love that you can look all around here. I love you can see there. I wish we could look up from down there. Can we look up from down there? And like, I wish we could, and I'm just realizing I don't think I've ever checked. Let's go see. Can you go away, please? I don't want you. I don't want you. Can you go away, please? Yeah. That was annoying. Ugh. You know what's the worst part about the snow? Before the snow came, I was telling myself, I'm going to Dyke Night tonight. Like, I was going to go to Dyke Night tonight. I was going to dance. I was going to go just, like, be a goddamned lesbian. But no. Have to be all. Anyway. Remember that thing at the top of the gold dome? It's time to solve that. And by solve that, I mean show you what all the buttons do and then go look up a solution, because I don't have a sheet of paper to write things out with. So I'm not going to actually, like, solve it. I'm just going to go let someone else do the work. But, like, you can see the islands. And I love, like, all up to now we've done the 4, right? You've had the Golden Dome, the crater, the plateau, the jungle, and then this thing that we've never seen. Because it's off somewhere out on its own. Yeah, we can click these buttons, we can bubble everything up. And at this point, we don't know how this works, but we've seen enough to know that it's probably just heat. They're probably using heat to push water up here. Huh. Let's go to Garden Island. I just think of it as the Plateau Island, because it's got the big plateau. Yeah, the point of all this is not to say so much about Gen, that Gen's idea of a garden is some fucking bubbles. I love this. It's one of these things. I had one of these to play with when I was a kid. And if you pay close attention, hey, it's a 5x5 grid. You can click through. And you can find the dome, which was there on this face. And then if we go look at the dome, which we're not going to do this way because it's all messed up. Okay, it's the closed eye. So now we know we can put the closed eye color, which I forgot what it is, in that dot of that cube in the big thing. And so you go through, you do that for everything, and you make note of everything. And it's, you know, actually pretty clever. And it's such a rewarding moment. But I did that rewarding moment 20 years ago. I don't want to do it again. And I'm beginning to get a headache from sitting upright too long. So we're going to go... Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So let's look this up, because I don't want to have to make notes here. Riven, fire marble. And it's called Evil Incarnate in the link here. Come on now, that's not that bad. I mean, it is there when you give me the obvious wrong answer. I don't remember the right answer, but I recognize that is not the right solution. There it is. There's the solution. Okay. Boop. Okay. Oh, that's one grid further down than it needs to be. Boop. And then finally there. And such a satisfying moment, even when you don't actually do the work for it. This is making me really want to get my gallop back on. Yeah, I forgot that. That's okay. This is not a great speedrun time. I'm not even trying to speedrun. I did gallop there. This is the wide open eye. Took me too many tries to get the wide open eye. I'm bad at that. If I do another speedrun, I need to practice galloping. I need to memorize the puzzles better, and I need to work on doing that. I'm on the speedrun boards. I'm not that good because I have never been good at galloping. Let's see. Where am I on the speedrun boards? I haven't looked at ages. Let's look it up. 26 in 12 minutes 46 seconds. And like that big jump when you go down is like galloping. Like yeah, I think 8 minutes would be a sensible time if I were able to gallop reliably. Yeah, I mean, I know what I need to do. I just haven't been wanting to bother with mostly galloping. Like, that's the thing I need to get good at. Because I don't actually do much speedrunning. It was more of a, I wonder how fast I can do this. And I just did a stream where I sped run as fast as I could. And that was the best time from that stream, and I just went ahead and submitted it and got that. Hi again. Problem is I don't enjoy galloping, and I don't like to play games that I don't enjoy, or ways I don't enjoy. Hi, are you gonna kill me again?
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atreus. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter?
Oh god, it's been 30 years since I played Mist 1 the first time.
The man I was.
Oh no.
But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atreus' choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population.
Ken, you're such an asshole.
Tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless.
You sound like my fucking father.
The
Oh my
natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atreus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may.
Yeah, he'd probably be a much more standard narcissist. You know, the sort that are just kind of fun to hang out with, who aren't, like, dangerous. No, he sounds like my fucking father. This is how my father talks about Arabs and black people and Mexicans, and it's just like, shut up, old man, you're a fool. And he's like, I don't trust this book.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first.
And this way so we don't get shot. Like, that's another potential bad end, Cassie. If you don't do that, he's just like, suspicious, I'll have someone else do it, and just shoots you. He's like, no one would voluntarily imprison themselves in a book, so it must be fine. Yay! We have another thing. He's writing a book there. And then you can turn on the books. And importantly, get our sound puzzle. Where's our sound puzzle? There it is. We have a journal here if you want to learn more. I'm not going to spoil things. People should play this game themselves. Click. Click, click, ding, click, twist. Click, click, ding, click, twist. That's one of the three, like, codes. There's 3 randomly generated codes. It's the dome code, the ice cream scoop code, and the elevator code. So you have to go look up the... So you have to go to Gen's lab to get the dome code. You have to go to the moiety to get the ice cream scoop code. And you have to go down into Gen's bedroom to get this code. And hey, we saw this place. Isn't that such a fucking gorgeous outfit?
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening.
Well, that's not a
Once we're
problem.
back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup.
That's not even a complicated embroidery. Wow, that's much simpler than I thought it was. That's just some straight stitches and then a couple little bits of like...
We're
free. You're captured again. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once they realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
And the game, and they're just like, nope, you're not gonna go back up there and explore. Nope. Friggin'. I wonder how much of that is them running out of space. And we have to wait until she's gone. Yeah. Imagine how sane I'd be if I didn't have to encounter some of the shit I did as a kid. Okay, and then we go to Temple Island. That's a good point, Cassie. If I weren't my weird, short-tempered, borderline personality disorder ass, would I be me? Okay. Now I need that code. Where is the code? There it is. 2, 4, 3, 5. No. 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. And time! We're not timing it. Oh no, I had to put it again. Oh. I forgot to remove the safety. There's end time. Woo! 3 hours. Yeah. Remember what I said earlier? They're like treating us like a devil come to destroy their world? Whoops.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't...
Yay!
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us.
Yay, now go home and give Catherine some, like, bagels, because Catherine is, like, too skin and bones. Poor gal needs to eat more.
This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's not our problem. Our problem is that we're now stuck floating in the infinite void of space. Good ending.
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure, that riven cleft of stars that access both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my mist book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
Woohoo, Atris supports fanfiction. Yay. That what? You know, what? Yeah, that's a good end. We just got the good ending. Yay. I just love how I can spend 3 hours, just 3 hours, and I wander and I stop and I go on rants, and it's still just 3 hours from start to end because I just vaguely know what I'm doing. Which is not quite how fast it is for Outer Wilds. I don't have Outer Wilds installed right now, otherwise I would just hop over and be like, get out of here, Parker Solemn Civi. Civi, yeah. PSS. Get out of here, PSS. And then I'd just play that, but no, I don't have it installed. And Outer Wilds needs to be experienced from start to finish, especially if you know about the ending going into it. It is a vastly diminished experience. Oh. It's so good. Yay, yay, Bob Takioris. Great sound. The sound in this game is so good. Prop construction, the Seattle Opera. Is that the actual Seattle Opera, or is that just the person's name? Appling, Verdad, Carlson, Crane, Jofis, Leaf, Morris, Risto, Soleil, Sinclair, Sudair, Swoboda, Tyson, Wende, Zeinhardt. Thanks to the Riven team's families. Thanks to everyone who played Myst. Hey! Well, they said thank you to Barbara. Aw. It's a different Barbara, but I'll take the credit. I'll take the thanks. Actually. Okay. Let's hop out for a moment. Yeah. Because there is Spanish. Do they redub it? How does it change in Spanish? My Spanish is so bad. See how much I remember.
Gracias a Dios que has vuelto. Necesito tu ayuda. Hay muchas cosas que debes saber, pero temo que debo continuar mi escritura. Mira, aquí está lo que debes saber. Escóndelo bien. Por razones que descubrirás, no puedo mandarte a Riven con billete de vuelta. Pero puedo darte esto. Parece ser un libro conector de aquí a Denis, pero es una prisión para un solo hombre. Toma, te hará falta para capturar a Ken. Cuando hayas encontrado a Catherine, llámame. Y yo iré con un libro conector para poder volver. Si logras triunfar, habrá también una oportunidad de devolverte al lugar de donde has venido.
Yeah, I know that, and it's very Mormon, that little piece of fact, with how the Denis are. Gosh, that Atris was so burnt out. Like the exhaustion came through. Hey, this looks less handwritten. Axito, parece que después de todo, mis represiones han sido efectivas. La imagen de la puerta se ha vuelto notablemente más clara. Y aunque es imposible saberlo con absoluta certeza, la isla parece tranquilizado. This is like un libro de prisión. Problema! Shit! There's a problem. Mi libro conector perdido. I've never been really good at Spanish, but I'm just like, I know enough that I'm like, ooh, I wonder. See, I already know. So it's not fair. But I wonder if I didn't know if I'd be able to squeeze my way through this and puxel everything out. But that's not going to be today. I am starting to get the headache from sitting up too long. So I need to lay down. That means I need to deliver everyone who's watching off to somewhere else. And I think the answer to that is... Ooh, do I send you to... Oh, Seika's still running. Let's go send you to Seika. Woohoo. No, I can't raid Seika. Seika! Go manually. Go manually to Seika. Go in there. Peace.